She wore it for years, thinking it was a symbol of love. Until the truth shattered everything. The ring wasn't his to give. And the love was a lie. Now, she's not just broken. She's angry. And she wants justice. Before we start the story, comment below where in the world you are watching from today, and if you like the story, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss future stories like this one. Maya had always been the kind of girl who believed in fairy tales. She believed in destiny, soulmates, and that somewhere out there was a man meant only for her. So when she met Ryan at a university art exhibit, everything felt like fate. He was charming, mysterious, intelligent, a man with an effortless allure that captivated everyone, but somehow made her feel like she was the only person in the room. Their courtship was fast and passionate. Ryan proposed within 6 months, on a rainy evening under the soft yellow lights of the very gallery where they met. He pulled out a velvet box and opened it to reveal a deep sapphire ring encased in a delicate band of gold. It sparkled unnaturally, like something magical. "It belonged to someone special," he said, pressing it gently onto her finger. "Now it's yours." She gasped. It felt heavy, both in weight and meaning. "A piece of history," he told her, "from a lost noble family in Europe." She never questioned him. Why would she? He was the man she trusted most. Their wedding was beautiful. Elegant. Full of promises. But promises are fragile things. 5 years later, everything crumbled. Maya discovered the truth in pieces, like shards of broken glass that cut deeper the more she tried to hold them together. The messages from strange women. The unexplained late nights. The bank account withdrawals. Ryan had been living a double life, one with her, and another in the shadows. Confronting him was like waking a sleeping monster. He didn't even bother to deny it. Instead, he blamed her. Called her too emotional. Too suspicious. Said she was imagining things. Gaslit her until she nearly believed she was crazy. But she wasn't. She was devastated. Maya left the house they shared with only a suitcase and her dignity in pieces. The divorce was ugly, drawn out, and hollow. Ryan moved on quickly, too quickly. She saw pictures online within months, him smiling next to a new woman. She tried to forget him. She returned to teaching art at a local school, poured herself into her work, and began attending therapy. Slowly, she stitched her life back together. But the ring remained. It sat in her drawer, untouched, in the same box he gave it to her in. She couldn't bring herself to wear it, but she couldn't let it go either. It was the last relic of a love that once felt real, even if it had all been a lie. 3 years after their divorce, Maya finally decided it was time to let go of every part of that chapter. She would sell the ring. Use the money for a solo art retreat she had always dreamed of. Something just for her. She visited an antique jewelry appraiser in downtown, a quiet man named Mr. Halim with years of experience and an eye for rare gems. He greeted her warmly, offered tea, and took the ring with practiced hands. But as he examined it under the light, something changed. His face stiffened. His eyes narrowed. This is no ordinary ring," he murmured. Maya tilted her head. "What do you mean?" He brought out a reference book and flipped through it, stopping at a page with a black and white photograph. Her heart skipped a beat. There, staring back at her, was an exact replica of the ring. Sapphire. Serpent design. Golden band. "This ring was stolen from the National Museum of Artifacts 15 years ago," Mr. Halim said quietly. "It's known as the Sapphire Serpent. It's a historical piece, estimated value, $6 million. Maya froze. "That's impossible. My ex-husband said it was. From a European family," he lied, Halim interrupted gently. "And if the authorities find this, they will want answers." The room swam around her. The air felt thick. She had left the lies behind. Or so she thought. Within hours, Maya found herself in a police station, explaining everything: how she had received the ring, her divorce, her ignorance of its origins. The officers were skeptical at first, but her honesty and vulnerability were difficult to doubt. One detective stood out. His name was Ion. In his early 40s, calm eyes, steady voice. He listened to her carefully and believed her. He looked at her not as a suspect, but as a survivor. "You're not in trouble," he assured her. "But you might be the only way we can finally catch this guy." Maya was stunned. "You've been looking for him?" For years, Ion replied. The ring was part of a larger museum heist. We had leads, but they all went cold. Until now. It hit her then, not only had Ryan betrayed her heart, he had used her as a pawn in a much bigger game. Their marriage wasn't love. It was cover. A distraction. She was the perfect alibi. She felt rage rise in her chest, not just for what he had done, but for how he had made her question her worth. She had cried for him. Fought for him. Loved him with everything she had. Now, she wanted justice. With the police's support, Maya dug through her old memories. She revisited their photo albums, emails, bank statements, anything that could place Ryan near the museum at the time of the theft. She remembered a business trip he took shortly before their engagement. To a city near the museum. She remembered him being nervous when reporters mentioned missing artifacts. Piece by piece, the puzzle came together. Ryan had ties to the underground art market. Offshore accounts. Hidden assets. Ion was impressed. You should have been a detective, he joked, half serious. She smiled, but there was little joy in it. I just want to stop him from doing this to someone else. They hatched a plan. Maya would reach out to Ryan, using a new number, pretending she had found the ring again and wanted to talk. To maybe reconnect. To her disgust, he took the bait. Eagerly. They met at a cafe. Maya wore a wire. Her hands trembled, but her voice didn't. You lied to me, she said coldly, placing the ring on the table. Ryan leaned back, smirking. Oh come on. It was just a piece of jewelry. No, she said, voice shaking. It was my life. My trust. Please, Maya, he scoffed. You were convenient. Nothing more. And with those words, the police moved in. Ryan's arrogance melted in seconds as he was handcuffed. He shouted her name, cursed, screamed. She stood silently, watching. The trial made headlines. Maya testified. She stood in front of strangers, cameras, and lawyers and told her truth, not just about the ring, but the emotional abuse, the manipulation, the gaslighting. The world listened. And Ryan was sentenced to 12 years in prison for art theft, fraud, and obstruction of justice. Maya didn't smile at the verdict. She didn't cry either. She returned the ring to the museum herself. They welcomed her as a hero, but she didn't feel like one. She just felt free. On her way home, she took a walk through the same gallery where she first met Ryan years ago. It felt different now. Not haunting. Just quiet. In the reflection of a painting, she saw herself, not as the girl who believed in fairy tales, but as the woman who survived a nightmare and found her power. She touched her empty ring finger. Not a symbol of loss anymore. But a space for something new. Not a ring. Just peace.